Okay, let's continue our journey into the nervous system by discussing the peripheral nervous system. This is just a short video, and we will dip into a little bit of physiology here, but it can't be helped. The central nervous system, as we know, is comprised of the brain, brainstem, and the spinal cord, represented here in blue. Everything outside of that, all these yellow lines that we've got scratched across the image here, which look vaguely like a person, comprise the peripheral nervous system. The peripheral nervous system comprising of 12 pairs of cranial nerves, 12 cranial nerves, not pairs, I should say, 12 cranial nerves, and 31 pairs of spinal nerves. I expect you to know each and every one of them for the assessment. Of course I don't, I'm joking, that would be very mean of me. The image here on your left shows a simplified version of the peripheral nervous system, which, as we say, can be thought of as any nervous tissue outside the central nervous system. The peripheral nervous system is made of three different components: the somatic, the autonomic, and the enteric nervous system. The word somatic refers to the body or self, so this is also known as the voluntary nervous system. It's the portion of the nervous system which we have conscious control over. So for example, skeletal muscles. In fact, I say for example, that's the only thing that we have conscious control over in our bodies is our skeletal muscle contractions. So give that one a moment to rattle around and think about. The autonomic nervous system, automatic is the portion of the nervous system over which we do not have any control, and hence is known as the involuntary nervous system. It's further subdivided into two different divisions, the sympathetic and the parasympathetic portions of the autonomic system, but again, that's not really what we need to go into for sake of biomechanics. It's more of a physiological topic, but if you're interested, I'm happy to explain that in more detail. And my favourite portion of the peripheral nervous system, which unfortunately I've had to omit from the image here because it just makes it look a bit too confusing, is the enteric nervous system. The enteric nervous system, enteric itself means intestines, refers to the intestines, but it also includes the stomach, and among other things, it is responsible for giving you that gut feeling when you make a decision. If you feel good about something, feel bad about something, you could often get this sensation in your stomach and you think, oh no, I shouldn't have done that. That's the enteric nervous system. It's a fascinating evolutionary trait, but as I say, we are primarily interested in the somatic nervous system for the sake of biomechanics. So then, we label the anatomical structure of different neurons or different types of neuron in the body based on their structure, but also their function. And for what we're going to be discussing, we will grade them based on their function. So we have sensory receptors. When we speak of the somatic nervous system, sensory receptors can be found all over the skin, all over the body. They're also associated with our special senses. So we have receptors in the eyes, also in the ears, on the tongue, even up your nose, which you can react to. But we refer to this particular type of neuron as being unipolar. This is a unipolar neuron. And information is carried from the dendrite to the axon of the unipolar neuron. And I think these are the dendrites. It's hard to tell because it's a cartoon image, but I think these are the dendrites. Information travels from here down the axon, and this is again in the peripheral nervous system. These are sometimes referred to as afferent neurons. They are sensory neurons, and the neural impulse is carried all the way down these cells until it reaches the central nervous system, which contains the type of cell that you see here, which is the neuron that you're probably more familiar with. This is the multipolar neuron. You'll notice that there is no bipolar neuron on here. We do have bipolar neurons. In this case, the cell body is within the axon here, so it's sort of merged into the middle. Again, not relevant to what we're doing, found in only a few locations in the body. There's some in the retina, I believe, in your eye. So sensory neurons here are afferent neurons, carry the information to the central nervous system. Within the central nervous system, we will find interneurons, which are comprised, for the most part, of multipolar neurons. This is where either a reflex action can occur, or we consciously process what we want to do about something and act on it. From there, the output, the action that we decide to take, is relayed through, again, multipolar neurons. In this case, these are motor neurons, and again, as I say, they are also multipolar. These are referred to as efferent neurons. So afferent is towards the central nervous system, efferent away. So we have sensory neurons, interneurons, and motor neurons, all making up the peripheral nervous system. And we're going to talk about motor neurons in more detail in a moment.